And the second opening poses, we're going to lift out of child's pose, pick up the eyes, the head, and come to be sat on the heels with the fingers lengthened down by the legs. As we breathe in, the arms extend forwards, the bottom draws forwards, and we lift the upper body. Supported by the tops of the feet, we exhale, bottom down to heels. So draw forwards from the pelvis and the fronts of the thighs, and use the support of the feet as we lower, so that the two movements are graceful and continuous, working with the length of each breath, the inhale on the lift and the exhale on the lower. So we're going to take the hands up to the sky this time. Still working with the same length of movement for the lower body and the same length of breath. Exhale all the way back down. The bottom touches the heels as the hands touch the floor. Breathe in, lift. Hands reach to the sky as the tailbone is forwards. Exhale and back down. Last one here then, as we push down to the shins, we lift up through the hands, and they then go wide into the waist. I'm just going to turn around to demonstrate the next set of poses for you. The hands on the hips, we take the right leg out to the side, heel in line with the hip, the arms open out, and the left hand turns up to the sky. The right extends down the leg, the left moves to the side of the face, and keep the fingers extended and the arms straight. So as the arm reaches away, the shoulder opens, the ribs open underneath it, and we're taking the crown over to the right. Steady feet, and then as we breathe we lift the upper arm, extend the arms wide, and then the left arm going down to the floor, either to the knuckles, fingertips or palm. Other arm lifted straight up in line, top of the head extending long, keeping the spine long and open. Ready to breathe in and lift through the upper hand, steady the feet, and turning up your left hand, that moves back over the head. And just keep inching away from the hip, back of the foot behind you pressed in. The gate pose. So as we breathe, we pick up the upper arm, lift, arms extend wide, and move back into the waist. We draw in the right knee, press to the top of the foot, and take out the left, rolling onto the outside edge of the foot and gripping the big toe. The arms open with the right hand turned up, which lifts, and exhaling folds over, drawing the right side of the body from the hips. Top of the foot behind you pressed in and the outer foot pressed in. Getting ready then to breathe in, lift through the upper hand, extend the arms wide, and take the right hand down to the floor. Again, either knuckles, fingertips or palm. Other arm straight up in line, crown lengthened away, and the tailbone tucking slightly through, so there's a gentle twist in the chest, upwards to the upper hand. And then as we breathe, we lift through the upper hand, turning up the right hand, which again moves over to the side of the face, turning up the chest, drawing the tailbone through towards the front, open ribs and chest. The arms then extend wide, the hands return to the hips, and we bring in the left knee. So we're going to work into a gentle Ustrasana, a camel pose, working the thumbs into the hips, the fingers wrapped around the front. We drop the spine, the head can move back if the neck feels okay, and then breathing in we lift back up through the heart. Repeat that, taking the thumbs pushed into the hips behind, drop the elbows and the head. If you want to take this a bit further into a full Ustrasana, we can either just reach the hands down to the feet or lift them up and over to take the heels. Then work the tailbone forwards so the thighs stay straight, drawing the top of the spine downwards towards the heels, head and neck relaxed back. And breathe into the open front ribs. So when we're ready to come out of this, we draw the hands back onto the hips, lift up through the heart, up to the crown. Bending at the knees, we take the bottom down to the heels, and we're sat on the heels. The arms extend forwards, Look forwards, extend the chin and chest, and then rest the head towards the floor. Extended child's pose. Turning the upper arms away from the ears as we ground into the hands. And then as we breathe in, we look up, lift up, and roll down to the floor. The tops of the feet flatten to the floor. We push into the hands and lift Cobra pose, just taking us as far as feels good. Extending back down to the floor. Breathing in as we lift. Exhale as we lower. So we're going to hold the last one. Push forwards into the hands. Just take this as far as you feel comfortable doing. We're taking a full Cobra pose and we're lifting up through to the crown, the chest extending slightly forwards, the hips relax towards the floor. Otherwise the elbows are bent, and then we carefully bend the elbows back and lower the chest back to the floor. So we move from here to upward facing dog, pushing into the hands, we lengthen the body forwards and then lift through the heart. Pick up the knees, rolling over or tucking over the feet, settling them into a hip width, comfortable distance, extending forwards through the arms into the palms and fingertips, upwards to the tailbone and the hips, and downwards to the heels. Downward facing dog. And we stay here, breathing full breaths into the open ribs. And move on to part 3.